Welcome to I Love My HBCU ? The podcast where we express our undeniable love for HBCUs, but where we are also not afraid to address a few tough questions. So, sit back, learn a little, love a lot, and rep your HBCU. It's another episode and, of course, another reason to love your HBCU. I have Emmanuel Craig from North Carolina Central University with me today, and he's a current student. Emmanuel, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I can't complain. You are so far. So, for those who don't know, when these amazing guests come, we do like some prep time with them, and I've gotten to have a lovely, easygoing conversation with Emmanuel even before starting. So I'm really looking forward to what our conversation is going to be today. I love it when I have a student on as a guest, because even though I ask this question now of everyone, I think it's even more special when it's coming from a student, a current student. So, Emmanuel, you've got a high school student out there thinking about North Carolina Central University or just thinking about college
Yes, ma'am.
next. What would you say to them? And I want you to be brutally honest. You don't want to
Gotcha.
gaslight them. You don't want them to get there and they're like, Emmanuel lied to me. All the things that
For sure.
Emmanuel said, don't do that. What would you say to them about North Carolina Central University with regards to what they should think about in attending or in
Definitely.
thinking about attending?
So North Carolina Central University is a family. I know a lot of HBCUs out there, they say that it's a family, but like literally once you get onto campus, you're going to feel the alumni, you're going to feel the chancellor, you're going to feel the staff, you're going to feel the students. And the energy is just different once you step onto NCCU's campus. I know a lot of people do say it's a family, but once you get there and then you actually start putting yourself out there, you're going to meet a whole bunch of different people that's going to give you the tools and they're going to equip you to be the best person and the best version of yourself. So I had to actually realize that like those first couple of weeks, I'm like, how am I going to adjust to college? How am I going to be myself? So once I started joining different organizations and I started meeting different people, I'm like, okay, these people are texting me after they get off, after 5, and they're actually really checking on me to see how I'm doing. I got staff sending me different scriptures from the Bible to make sure that I'm spiritually motivated from a day-to-day basis and different things like that. It really is the small things at Central that stands out, and then it carries you along your way.
So I'm glad that you started giving examples of why you say North Carolina Central is like a
For
family,
sure.
because you're right. Every HBCU
Every
says they're like
HBCU.
a family. So I like the specifics that you gave. Now, I am one of those human beings, and there are parents out there who are going to be listening to you because, as we know, it's not only the student or the high school student, prospective student that picks the university. Sometimes it's a family decision, sometimes.
Definitely.
And for the parents, for the families out there where they think about all the things they hear in the news, they think about the history that's associated with the institution, and they also think right and left. So all the feel good stuff that you've mentioned is beautiful,
For
but the
sure.
practical things as well. I want you to give us a practical, these are the things you might want to watch out for. And listen, for the record, when I ask this question, I am not inviting a bad mouthing of an institution,
For
but
sure.
I am inviting a realistic expectation of what I will find when I get to campus, what I will have to deal with when my mom and dad drop me off and I'm on my own and I have to navigate A, B, C, D, E, and F by myself, and knowing fully well that I'm not always going to have the advisor, the administrative team that you mentioned at my beck and call, especially within those first few months.
Definitely.
Speak to that as an experience when one gets to North Carolina Central.
Perfect. It's actually funny that you said that because it kind of reminds me when you were talking about like the family and the parents' decision. I actually had to turn down a full ride scholarship from my hometown institution, which was John C. Smith University, because I just felt like Central, once again, going back to the home trait, it just felt like home. And I just really felt, I told my dad, I was like, I know I might not have a full ride to NCCU now, but once I get there, I really feel that I'll be able to spread my wings. And then later down the line, probably like a month once I got there, I was able to receive a full ride. And just trying to triculate back to the question, NCCU is it's in Durham, so it's not a huge city. So coming from Houston, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, what's another huge city? Maybe Washington D.C. Central's in a small place, so you're going to have to adjust to finding different things to do, which is finding different restaurants, maybe um, different amusement parks, such as we have Top Golf here, we have Frankie. So finding different small fun things that you can do with your friends over the weekend versus trying to find a downtown because it's not really a huge downtown here until you go into like cities like Raleigh or Cary. And then that's a lot of things we do. We would probably go to Raleigh and go downtown, probably go shop. There's better malls in Raleigh versus in Durham. So just doing different things like that, just finding the small things that'll stand out. And like my freshman year, me and my friends, I'll never forget, we were trying to find something to do. We ended up going to South Point Mall in Durham, and I actually spilled some red juice on my shoe. So every time I ended up working in South Point not too long ago. So it's like every time I walk into the food court, I'll never forget that memory. So it's just small things like that.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate you for that. I really,
No
really
problem.
do. You are a business administration major.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, I teased him, but this is actually a fact. And anyone who knows him at North Carolina Central who listens to this will be like, I'm right. We read his bio, and myself and my producer read his bio, and we're like, is there anything you don't do on campus? I didn't even know what to pick up on to talk to you about, because I'm like, it's everything. So
Right.
you are a business administration major, you've had a gazillion internships, you own your own company, for crying out loud, with if I'm not right, sorry, if I'm not wrong, almost 100 or over 100 clients.
Yes.
um Talk, listen. And I'm not going to ask your age, but for the record, he is a junior. So you've still got one more lovely year at North
Yes,
Carolina
ma'am.
Central before you even step out into the world.
It's
And
crazy.
you are almost neck and neck with some of these people that have been out here working for the last 5 years.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
inspired you to start your own company? And tell us what the company is. I have Failure is Not an Option films. I hope I'm right by that. Am I
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes,
Lovely.
ma'am.
So tell us what inspired you to start that, and what do you guys do?
Got you. So my company is Pheno Films. Like you said, it stands for Failure is No Option. So the whole inspiration behind Pheno Films is actually insane because if we backtrack, North Carolina Central wasn't in the picture at all once I was in high school. But I dislocated my shoulder on my senior night, and I played basketball at Philip O'Berry Academy of Technology in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was my senior night. I was a standout basketball player, and on my I went up. I think it was a loose ball, and I dived on it, and then I actually dislocated my shoulder, and I went through like a small depression stage once that happened, and I had to actually try and figure out what was next for me because it was my senior year. So I always wanted to play college basketball at the next level, which I definitely had the opportunity to do so my senior year. But I was actually in. I had to take an extra elective for my class schedule to be full, and I ended up taking a yearbook. So the yearbook class, it needed a photographer. So I was still, while I was in the cast, I was still out taking pictures and around the school, different sporting events. And then that's when I really found a passion for photography. So once I transitioned into college, I'm like, I might as well just go ahead and make it a full business. And then once I got to
Oh.
Central, it was crazy because I started. doing things with the communication marketing office, and then that's when my name really started spreading around campus. And then it came homecoming, and I was able to meet rappers and singers like Money Long. I met Emmanuel Hudson, and just different things like that. And it really just inspired me to keep going. And then now I'm doing bigger projects such as working with different departments on campus and different artists and different athletes. So it's definitely very beautiful, and the story behind it people don't really know. But once people understand like my passion for photography, then they actually get to see I'm actually telling a story, not just mine but the clients as well.
I was a very, very bad student athlete. I was a runner. I was a track runner. I'm very honest. I was okay. I say
Right?
bad
Was it
because
long
I see these
distance?
short, Father Lord,
Short distance?
short.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
short, short. But I only bring that up because I am around a lot of student athletes and I understand what it feels like when an injury causes you to pivot.
Definitely.
And the reality about sports, I think, especially in the United States of America, especially college sports, and especially basketball and football, those who go into that sport, it's a fanaticism. It's
Definitely.
not a hobby. You
At
eat,
all.
live, breathe, all of that. And so I do hear a lot about the depression associated when you find that you have to pivot.
For sure.
And I appreciate hearing what each individual's pivot is. And
Definitely.
I want us to hear more of them because a good number of them think it's the end for me and they find difficulty getting out of the pivot. Many of them now really turn to some unfortunately bad habits as
Right.
opposed to finding healthier habits to pivot into. So I applaud you sharing the
Thank you.
inspiration for Fino. Now I see why it's Fino, because I keep wanting
Yeah.
to say
It's
failure is no
catchy.
option.
It's
I
catchy
am
for
so
sure.
not cool at all. But now I see why it's Fino Films and
Definitely.
I love the inspiration behind it. Listen, I've
It's
got a
really
whole lot more to talk to you about your clientele as well as your, and the reason why I want us to talk about your clientele is I know that there is a student listening to this. I know this for a fact, and they don't know the how. Don't give all your trade
for
secrets,
sure.
but I want you to be able to inspire them to get out of their shell and do the thing they need to do to get to
Definitely.
where they want to be. So, but before I do that, I'm going to treat you to our rapid 67, and that
Uh-oh.
is as many questions. Listen, I love everyone's reaction. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I love everyone's reaction. Let's see if I can get as many of my questions out with you because too many people take so much time to
For
answer the
sure.
questions, and I'm not able to ask a lot of questions. So I'm going to ask as many questions as I possibly can in only 67 seconds. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right, let's do
You don't have a choice.
it.
You're here.
Let's
So
do
let's
it.
do this.
For sure.
Okay. All right, Emmanuel, describe yourself in 3 words.
Overachiever, determined, driven.
I just met him and I believe that. Um, what's your unpopular opinion about HBCUs?
Hmm. Um, you won't be successful in the foregoing world. So what that means is basically just if you go to HBCU, you won't have the same opportunities as going to PWI.
Got it. Got it. You're at your college graduation, which for you is next year. Who's your dream commencement speaker?
Little baby.
Lil Baby is your dream.
Yes,
We're coming
for
back to
sure.
that in a second. We're coming back to that in a second. If your time so far in college was a song, what song would it be?
All My Life by J. Cole.
Okay, okay, okay. I like that. Shout out your favorite person. It could be a student, a professor, a staff member at your HBCU.
Charles Jennings, he's my top mentor right now.
Okay, everybody else is gonna get jealous that you didn't mention them, just
I know. I
FYI.
love all my
Uh,
mentors though. I love them all.
Okay, I was just told that the rapid fire is done.
Oh man, that was
But
quick.
that was quick. That is 67 seconds. It goes by like
Yeah.
that. But I will ask though, if you are a you're a student leader on campus, you are a lot of things. What's one trait, just one trait, if you could say this is the one trait that I know literally gets me through or by at all times, what is that trait?
Hmm. Does it have to be a word or is it just like a trait in general?
It can be a trait in general. It doesn't have to be a word.
Um, Not being, well, humble would definitely be one, but really just not being comfortable with the achievements that I have accomplished. So
I
really just
mean,
keep going.
I asked you for three words and you said overachiever, and I was like, I don't know him well, but that's the
Yeah,
truth. Once you read
definitely.
his bio, do you think people are born that way, Emmanuel? And before you answer that question, I'm asking this question intentionally. I'm around a lot of college students and I hear it all. They're lazy, they're this, they're that. But then you run into a good number of Emmanuels, because I think it could be a half and half pot
For
here,
sure.
right? Who, Lord have mercy, what haven't you done? Thurgood Marshall, scholar, Yardy, like you've done it all. The question then for me, and you're an athlete, and I from student athlete to student athlete, I think we're a little different in a good way. I really
For sure.
do. Um, and I really do think, listen, for all the scholars out there, even if you do not belong to a collegiate athletic team, I think you should do some kind of a group sport. There's
For sure.
something about the characteristics of being able to work together as a
Definitely.
team and be competitive that I think helps you. Tosin,
Definitely.
stop talking. Question to
You're
Emmanuel.
fine. You're fine.
Do you think that comes naturally for some people, the overachieving, the never settling for just average? And I want you to speak as a young black
Mm,
HBCU college student, who young black male HBCU college student who is currently the antithesis to what many people describe black college students, black male, I'm going to keep on saying male, black male college students as. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
definitely. I don't believe that like you're born with it. I think it's more so like you go through different things in life and like different experiences that really just motivate you and it just changes your mindset about a whole bunch of different things. Like me personally, I've been through so many different things to where it's like I have to be that person in my family to where people look up to me and that I can give back once I get to that position in life. So I think it's just more so like you go through different experiences and different I'm missing the word right now. I can't think of it. But I think it's more so the different experiences as well as different obstacles that you go through in life to where it's more so it's almost like a charger and a phone to where it's like
Hmm.
if you're on 50% in life and then you're trying to get to 100% and then you run into an obstacle that you have to charge your phone. It's more so like that. And then sometimes the battery might die down, but then you got to find that charger again to where you can get back to 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. No, 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 no. I do. I hear you, and my brain already thinks very similarly to yours, that I
Sure.
wish we had somebody in this conversation right now who thinks a little differently.
Definitely.
Because if it's as simple as you're saying it is, right, then everybody, once they get to that level of
Right.
obstacle, will just go find their recharge and get back on track. But you and
Definitely.
I both know, and we both see, that for many, many people, they're not able to easily recharge and get back on track and be that achiever at the level that they want to be. So that's the only reason why I'm like, I wish there was somebody else who's like, wait, hold on, guys, that's
Right.
not the way. So, okay. Um, before I get into the advice that I want you to give your fellow collegians regarding how you've been able to be very successful with Pheno Films. Um, why why North Carolina Central? You shocked me when you said that you turned down a full ride for another institution. Give us your
Definitely.
college selection journey. I know you're from North Carolina, and for crying out loud, if I'm not mistaken, other
Please don't
than
say it.
Alabama, North Carolina, no, I was just saying other
All
than
right, cool.
Alabama, North Carolina has the most HBCUs in a
Yeah,
single state.
yes, definitely,
I think
definitely.
I know what you were hoping I wouldn't say.
I thought you
So
were going there.
why North? How did you select? No, I didn't. I caught myself. Um, how did you finally select North Carolina Central? Give us that journey. Give us your college selection
Gotcha.
journey.
All right, so I'm in a program called Road to Hire. So Road to Hire is like one of the top programs in Charlotte specifically when it comes to helping students prepare for college as well as do their college selection. So they were the ones that actually offered the full ride for Johnson C. Smith. And once I took it back home to my family, like, ooh, like we gotta take it, we gotta do it, we gotta do a full ride, like we don't have to come out of pocket at all. I'm like, okay, let's slow down just a tad. So then my sister, she actually graduated from North Carolina A&T, which I thought that's where you were going. I'm like, oh gosh. So North Carolina
No.
A&T was definitely in high school. North Carolina A&T was definitely my top choice, just because I was able to go to experience their homecoming, go and see like the college life, just basically through her vision. So I thought it was gonna kind of maybe be the same for me, but then I actually went to their open house, and I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't the choice for me. So then once I went to North Carolina Central's open house, I was cheesing as soon as we got to the sloping hills of Verdant Green. Like I actually went on the visit with the North Carolina well, the Charlotte alumni chapter of NCCU, and I met someone named Miss Nikki Davis Green, and she's now the national president of Alumni Association at NCCU. She was initially the Charlotte president. So then once we went on that tour, I was literally cheesing there. Once I got there, on the way back, it was just mind blowing, like the experience. I don't know what it was, but it literally just felt like a family. And just the alumni's energy, being able to meet the chancellor when I went, being able to just see the Greek plots, being able to see the new student center that they had just built, being able to see the gym. It was just everything all at once, and I just got a different vibe. And then I made a selection. I literally only visited Central one time before I made my college decision. And once I got back to Charlotte, I was like, Central is definitely the place for me. Pretty crazy, but
So let me slow
pretty
down.
crazy. It's pretty
Listen,
crazy.
I'm slowing down because I know my parents, right? And I can't. I'm gonna actually ask them what their impression would have been if I had a lovely full ride in one hand.
For sure. For
And
sure.
then I told them, slow down. We're not doing this. We're going to
Definitely.
go do this instead. What were your parents? I want to know what your family's reaction was to that. Like seriously,
Yeah. So
and those who've been listening, you heard Emmanuel say earlier on that about a month or so after being at North Carolina Central, he did get himself a full ride, but he didn't know that was going to happen. So
right,
I want to, yes, what was your family's reaction to? Yeah, we're not going to take that full ride. We're going to potentially take out
right.
loans and be in debt instead.
Right. I think it was more so like on my dad's end of things, I think it was more so him scared of me like going to a different like city, different location kind of, because I literally stayed 5 minutes from John C. Smith. So I literally drove, my church is literally
Ah.
basically on John C. Smith's campus almost. So I literally grew up around it. So I think it was more so like him being scared, just a little bit of me experiencing something different. So I think it was more so like a, hey, like just stay here, like I'm gonna miss you, like don't leave. But then once he seen me and go and spread my wings, like I told him I was going to at Central. Now, if you call him and ask him about me, he's just cheesing from ear to ear. So it was definitely worth it. It was definitely worth it. It was a tough decision in the
I
moment,
love
but
it. I
it
love
paid
it.
off.
I love it.
Definitely paid off.
I absolutely love that. I'm almost definite that there are enough parents watching this and listening to this right now that are saying, mm-mm, you would have had to start at Johnson C.
For sure.
Smith.
for
and then
sure.
potentially transfer to North Carolina
Definitely.
Central
I
later
get
on.
it. I get it for sure.
Because Emmanuel, to be fair, I don't think any parent wants to see their child go to college and then be saddled with all these loans.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so what I've experienced is a lot of families and their students select the safe option, and the safe option is the full ride. So
Right.
kudos to your family, kudos to you for
Thank
not
you.
picking the safe option, but picking the option that really meant a lot to you.
Definitely.
um don't give any trade secrets. And the reason why I'm saying don't give any trade secrets is because I know, and I'm going to say I assume, not know, that as you do what you do with Pheno Films, part of it is you learning on the way as well. So that's the only reason why I'm saying don't give any trade secrets. But I want you to encourage any of the undergraduate students who are thinking about doing their own thing, regardless of what their own thing is. What would you say to them about starting their own thing while they're still in college?
Mhm.
And what has been your most successful strategy that you've used in being able to get the 100+ clients that you've worked with Pheno Films? And then, because for every success story, you used the word earlier on, there are obstacles. What's the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome in making your company as successful as it is?
Got you. So to start off, I definitely say starting your own business is not very if you don't have a plan mapped out, it won't be sustainable. And that's one of the things I learned at Central because I was a part of a program called SEED, which is the Center of Entrepreneurship and Economic Development. So they literally help you build your business up from the ground up. But what I would say, and this is something that I kind of struggle with at first, make sure that you start your business around something that you truly have a passion for. And one of the things I'm still trying to figure out is trying to be cautious on what my passion is and trying to make it a career because I don't want to make my passion my career and then later down the road it starts getting stressful and draining to where I don't want to end up doing anymore. So that's one of the traits and tips that I will give, but definitely do something. I suggest maybe do it as a side hustle and then try and learn the business of something else that you really want to do. So with me personally, it's marketing. Essentially, my company is marketing and things that sort, but it's not photography. So I definitely have a passion for marketing and content creation. So doing things like that is basically going to be my career, but I still have photography on the side to where it can be a sustainable business later on down the line. And one of the traits that I did and things that I did to make sure my business stood out on my campus personally, my freshman year, I had my camera everywhere I went. I was shooting for free. I was doing different things with the student activities board, which is something that we are probably going to get into later down the road. But I ended up being a marketing and promotion chair for them. But beforehand, I was taking my camera everywhere. Like I was taking it to the caf. I was taking it to the caf, taking pictures of the noobs, and then taking it to it's pretty crazy. But I was taking it to we have something called Rock the Lyceum when we have different stars and actresses and speakers come and talk to our students. So I took it there and doing things like that, it really stood out because it was more so like, hey, who's the guy with the camera? Like, who is that? Like he always here with his camera. But then it started being more of a natural thing. And then they realized and got to know me, all the different things I was doing on campus versus just photography. And then you said one of the obstacles with my business.
Absolutely, yes.
One of
And
the
how you
obstacles
overcame it.
for sure. One of the obstacles at first was definitely competition. So it was a lot of photographers my freshman year on our campus. Like we had multiple, probably about 20 photographers. So I had to find my different niche that different things I was going to do to make sure that I stood out personally. So freshman year, it went to the extent of me literally taking pics at the football game and then going back to my room, staying up literally until 3 or 4 or 5 a.m. literally editing the picture so I could be the first photographer to post and tag the football team on Instagram. So it literally went to the extent of that, and it actually started working out because the athletic department started reaching out to me like, "Hey, like,
Mm.
who are you? Like, why are you posting? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" So then it started working out, and doing different things like that, it actually worked out because other photographers was reaching out to me like, "Hey, like, how did you get this up so fast? Like, and it's beautiful work. So like, how did you do this and that?" So doing small things like that, just making sure that you stand out, be different. So that's really one of the biggest things when it comes to being a business.
I love the stand out and be different. I also love the reality of what you said earlier when you started. There were almost 25 photographers on campus. Competition is a real thing.
Definitely.
But just because the competition is there does not mean you should give up what it is you wanted to do. There's still
Definitely.
only you and you are different. So I hope enough current students hear that just because everybody else is doing it does not mean you should stop doing it if it's what you want to do. You
Sure.
smiled like when you no so okay. Find your words, Tosin. Find your
You're good.
words.
You're good.
So I was going to say you smiled twice when you were just talking, but it reminded me of when you said that you stepped onto North Carolina Central's campus and you were just cheesing. And anyone who's just listening to us, go to your phone, go to your computer, get on YouTube, find Emmanuel Craig's episode on I Love My HBCU question mark. He's got an infectious smile. He makes you feel happy, and I love it. I absolutely
Yes,
love
man.
it. And it matters to me because um most of the time when I'm talking to young black men, they feel they have to have this, strong, harsh demeanor about themselves. But you told us about how you were cheesing when you went on campus, and then you kind of hinted at two stories, and I want you to tell us the two stories. Like he was cheesing as he was talking about it. I don't go to North Carolina Central. I've been to their campus twice. I don't know the stories. So share these stories that made you chuckle. And I'm going to tell you the two moments that you chuckled.
Got you.
Moment number one was when you talked about the student activities team and you taking pictures for them. There's a story behind that chuckle. I want to hear the story behind that chuckle. For those who don't know, Emmanuel Craig is now a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yo,
And you
yo.
chuckled, he chuckled also when he talked about him taking a picture of what they call themselves brotherly as noobs. I want to hear the stories. Give us some inside beats here. Go ahead.
Got you. So, to start with SAB, so Student Activity Board on our campus, it really holds a very special place in my heart because that was really the first organization that I joined, I guess I can say. And it was more so like, so I was in, it's called council in high school. So high school is basically student activities board in college, or
Okay.
some campuses call it CAB, so it's campus
Yes.
activities board. But
Yes.
student activities board, I actually got on my first flight thanks to SAB, and that was very eye opening because I got to witness firsthand, first experience, like that once you come to college, like you're going to get many different experiences. And SAB opened my eyes to that. We went to a conference called NACA in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That was my first time really going up north. And I started off as a general body member, and then I did a lot of work behind the scenes my freshman year. And then sophomore year, I actually moved up to marketing promotions chair, so I was over like our social media. And if you follow SAV, SCCU's SAV, we got like 11,000 plus followers. So it was definitely a lot of pressure when it came with that. But doing different things like that and traveling around the world, like SAV, it did its big one on me, definitely for sure. And then Kappa Alpha Psi, man, it just holds a very special place in my heart. If you see my desk now, it's two Kappa paddles over here. I got a Kappa trophy, and then I got a Kappa Alpha Psi emblem on my desk. But I wanted to do it my whole life. Like I wanted to cross Kappa my whole life. And my uncle is actually a Nuke. He crossed Alpha Lambda at South Carolina State. So really just seeing how he carried himself as well as just seeing how the Noops just carry themselves like throughout my life. That wasn't the first Noop I encountered, and I'm pretty sure it definitely won't be the last. It's just it's the stories are special. Like if you actually read the history and understand what those men and those founders went through, then it just touches your heart. Like how would you not want to join? And it's actually funny because I crossed in November, and then this past, I believe in the beginning of December, I went to the Cricket Wireless Celebration Bowl because on my campus I'm the Cricket Wireless ambassador. Um, well, let me backtrack just a little bit more from that. So my grandma, unfortunately, she passed recently, and she knew how bad I wanted to cross Kappa, and I went to the hospital that weekend. She was in the hospital for quite some time, but I went to the hospital that weekend after I crossed, that Saturday after I crossed, and she got to see me in my Kappa jacket, and she just dropped a tear, and that was the last time I seen her alive. So really,
Wow.
it just Kappa just holds a very special place in my heart because after I left the hospital, I literally just broke down crying because
Of course.
I had a feeling that the time was coming for her. So really, just that being the last time I seen her, and she got to see maybe one of the biggest accomplishments I will accomplish in my lifetime. It really just holds a special place in my heart. But just to fast forward, when I went to Cricket Wireless Celebration Bowl, I actually got to meet the we call him the grand pole mark of the
Okay.
organization,
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy McMichael. I actually got to meet him firsthand, so that was definitely just it was just amazing, like the way Kappa has impacted my life in such a short amount of time.
So, I smiled. So I'm a member of one of the uh, African American Greek letter organizations as
I see.
well. And I smiled when because you chuckled when you said you used to go and take pictures of them. And
Yes,
this is
full circle
clearly before you became a member of the organization.
for sure,
But you and I can talk about what that was like offline and not
sure.
not on the
Full circle
recording.
moment, full
Um,
circle.
but I do listen. I think you've given us a perspective of your membership and what the membership means to you that I feel I have to go there. So I'm going to go there. So where
Please
is
do,
there? And
please
the
do.
there is, if you look online, and it's every organization, at least most organizations. I've seen it with the Kappas, I've seen it with the Deltas, I've seen it with the AKAs, I've seen it with the Alphas. Those are the ones I've seen more recently. I see it a lot with the Deltas denouncing of the organizations. When you see that as somebody who is a member of one of the organizations, number one, but number two, has seen a history of members of your family being in those organizations, what comes to mind? Like what's your immediate reaction when you see the denouncement? Does it have any
Mm.
effect on you? Do you have any opinion on it? If you don't, that's fine. But I'm curious, as somebody who for you being a member of this organization meant so much to you and means so much to you, what's your immediate reaction when you see all the denouncements occur?
Definitely. So for me personally, it doesn't really impact me personally because we say it all the time within like the Greek organizations that everyone's process is different. So all members don't go through the same thing when it comes to really understanding what the fraternity is about or the brotherhood that is about it. So really, I think it's just more so everyone. It's just like life. So everyone goes through their
Yeah.
own experiences, and everyone doesn't always feel as welcome sometimes. So I
Mm.
believe it's really just their own personal experiences and things that sort of they may go through. So
I appreciate that.
no
And I'm going
problem.
to now go there somewhere else. So
Got you.
all of the organizations, all nine of them that I'm aware of, um, what grounds them or grounds us, since I am a
Mhm.
member I have not denounced. I'm a proud
That's
member of my organization.
beautiful.
um
Beautiful.
so I'm not going to keep saying them. I'm going to say us instead of them.
Sure.
um what grounds each and every one of the organizations, in all fairness, is a community togetherness what grounds each and every one of the organizations is a desire for social impact in a way that has you furthering progression in a good way for Black communities, how things
Definitely.
affect us, and so on and so forth. And I'm very careful. You'll notice I'm not using the term community service, because I think if I think it's a little reductive if we say that we're just community service organizations.
Right.
We're more than that to me, and community service to me is primarily just volunteering. We do a whole lot more than volunteering.
A whole lot more.
um when it comes to what your passion is in the realm, and I think, and I'm about to go on my soapbox for 1.5 seconds, so bear
Uh,
with me, Emmanuel.
we're
Because
fine.
every time I hear the denouncements, I do my own personal reflection. And then I wonder, well, what are you doing in the organization based on what and why the organization was founded? And how active are you in your involvement with why the organization was
There we go.
founded? So
There we go.
those are
Perfect.
tosins. Those are my questions that I ask and reflect on whenever I hear all the denouncements. Because
There we
the
go.
reality is, if you joined it just to shimmy, the Kappas do a really good shimmy now. But if if you joined it to shimmy, to stroll, to step, to make sure you have the colors on,
Keep it
if that's
coming.
why you joined,
Keep it
I,
coming.
I, he said keep it coming. If that's
Please.
why you joined, though, you should be denouncing, because that's not what the organizations are primarily about. The organizations are about a whole host of other things if
A
you read
lot.
their histories. So asking you, just you, Emmanuel, again, you've had a legacy in the organization, and not just you just woke up one day and said, this is what I want to do. What are your either social impact or community impact involvements that really make you proud of
For
being
sure.
a member of your organization? Like, what are the things
Sure.
you do?
It's so much. So much. So I think one of the I'm not gonna say one of the bigger things because everything that we do is just like it hits you in a different way, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So um the Durham alumni chapter here, they do a program called Brother to Brother. So it's a program to where they go into the elementary school locally and then we actually get to talk and be that one-on-one person with the elementary school students because I think it impacts me the most because every time we go, it's a lesson that we teach them.
Mm,
So, say that one week we go, the word is achievement. So, we initially start off by like, what does achievement mean to you? And then you'll be surprised the things that they say, but it's very impactful because it makes you reflect on your life and your journey. Because if it's coming from at 8, a 7, a 6, or a 5 year old, you're like, like, where did you hear that? And then you look back at your life, you're like, okay, so that actually impacts me the same way it impacts you. And I've been around the world living longer. So that's definitely one of the bigger things, as well as most recently, I passed out clothes to the homeless because it's getting pretty cold here. We're actually expecting a snowstorm here soon, but I was able to pass out clothes to the homeless and actually just not just passing the clothes out, but actually talking to them and actually understanding their story. It really impacted me because you never know what people are going through in life
mm.
and the things that they're facing. Like we're really just blessed to be able to have a shelter over our head and food in our belly. Like we say it so subtly, but it's really huge. Like it's a huge impact. But those are the top two things as of right now, and something that me and my chapter is doing now, we stay after the basketball games to help clean up the trash. It's typically a lot of trash in McDougal McLennan Arena, but it's so small. But people don't really understand the impact that we're leaving and that we're basically laying the foundation for future basketball games to come. So it's really I love it. I love it.
So you said it's so small, and so my I most people who've been watching and who know me know that I have an HBCU as my own current academic home. And my president at my institution sometimes tells the story of him walking on campus and seeing me picking up trash randomly on campus. It's not so small. I think that we as humans relegate those jobs to our janitorial services
There we
with the
go.
assumptions that they're the ones that are supposed to do
Right.
it. Mind you, they did not create the mess.
There we go.
So if they did not create the trash, granted it's their job, but their job is bigger than picking up trash. So it's not, the minute you said it and then you said it's so small, I knew I was going to tell you it's not so small. And
Uh,
kudos to a group of young men who've decided after each game, we're going to help make this a little cleaner for the next time. Because can I tell you what you need to think about the next time you want to call it so small? If nobody picked up that trash manual and it compounded and compounded and compounded, I've been to different countries where unfortunately, doesn't have to be on a university campus,
mhm.
different places, you look over and all you see is trash upon trash upon trash.
Right.
It's not so small after a while. What
Exactly.
makes it seem like it's so small to you is because it's something everybody else is not thinking about at the same time. Emmanuel,
Yes, ma'am.
um, thank you for you. I have enjoyed having this conversation with you. I enjoy your energy. I enjoy your politeness. I enjoy the fact that there are young Black men like Emmanuel Craig in the world who are going to make this place a better place for us. I enjoy that.
Yes, ma'am.
However, is there anything that you're like, okay, when I get on this podcast, I have to share this, or I have to say this? Please bless our audience with it as we bring our episode to a close.
Definitely. Find a mentor. Find a mentor. Please find a mentor. His
Mm.
at HBCUs, finding a mentor is literally the hugest thing that you possibly will be able to do, because you'll have someone there 24/7 in your corner. You'll have someone to give you advice. You'll have someone to buy you food whenever you need to. You'll have someone to talk to. It's literally the best thing that you possibly could ever do at a HBCU. So find you a mentor.
Emmanuel, I apologize. I wish I had asked you this earlier on.
For sure.
That so I said we were about to bring it to a close. Shortly we will, but I have to. Listen. For students at different HBCUs who are either introverted or socially awkward and do not have a formal mentorship program that matches them to a mentor mentee matching,
Right.
what's your advice on how they should go about finding a mentor? But more than the advice, what should they look out for in their
Mhm.
mentor?
Someone that caters to you, not someone that more so caters to a whole bunch of other people, someone that really understands you and someone that actually cares for you. So those are really the top main traits, because you're going to have multiple different mentors. I have multiple different mentors, but each one plays a specific role in my life and it's very impactful. So without them, I wouldn't be half the person I am at my institution.
Thank you. And I love the fact that you said you have multiple mentors, because I think sometimes a mentee feels that a mentor has failed them when that mentor is not speaking to all of the needs that they have. And
Right.
the reality is, Emmanuel's going to be a great mentor to somebody in a particular set of skills or a specific set of traits, and may not necessarily be as good in others. So be kind. I think that's what I want to add, is be kind to these humans. They are human too.
Yes,
And be like Emmanuel, be like myself. There's some of my mentors, Emmanuel, that they don't know me and I don't know them. I just study them and I use some of the things that they do and use them as my mentor traits. You and I can talk about that later. Emmanuel, please end this episode by leaving our audience with a parting word or short phrase on why you the amazing Emmanuel Craig, loves HBCUs.
When you come to HBCU, Fino, failure is
When
no
you come
option.
to HBCU, oh, okay. I thought he was going to make
Yes,
it about
man.
his. That's You are an amazing marketing person. That was really
I am.
good. When you
Thank you.
come to an HBCU, Fino, failure is no option. Guys, those watching, those listening, this has been an amazing conversation, not because of me, but because of Emmanuel Craig, the
Thank
overachiever whose
you.
name you're going to hear for years to come. I
Same.
think it is impossible for you to have listened and not go ahead and like this episode. And I hope I have done my due diligence in making you want to subscribe to I Love My HBCU wherever you get your podcasts. Yours in HBCU love. See you next episode. Emmanuel Craig, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You've been listening to I Love My HBCU Let's keep the conversation going as we share our stories and encourage more practical support of HBCUs, whilst of course holding each other accountable. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for the latest episodes. Until next time, love and lift your HBCU.